This is Jonathan Agioff here for Pro Boxing fans. Delighted to be joined for the first time by Sam Eggington over Zoom. Sam, how's it going? How's lockdown been?
Going well, pal. Like I say, I've had a good break. Um, just had a daughter, so it was nice to have a break off and just get to chill. We might be interrupted actually, so um, but yeah, she's all right now.
So you've been having sleepless nights then?
Sleepless nights and early mornings.
Um, I mean, restrictions, as we were speaking a bit off camera, have eased a bit. So is training become easier?
I think, to be fair, a lot of the time I train alone anyway. If I'm honest, no, not a lot of the lads at the gym are fortunate enough not to have to work as well. So a lot of my day sessions, I do alone anyway. So it ain't been too bad for me like that. But like I said, I've just been doing a lot at home. I've been hitting the bag in the garage. I've been doing my runs, my sprints. I brought myself a rowing machine. Um, all that sort of stuff. And the runs, like the sprints and so on. I can meet John, the coach, and do them anyway because it's outside. So I've kept up with most stuff, if I'm honest.
Mm. Are you someone that watches a lot of fights during this period?
Nah, I'm the opposite path. I don't even watch boxing when it's on the TV. Um, I don't know. I watch a few. Don't get me wrong, but I've never gone out my way to watch a boxing show. And that sounds crazy, but I don't know. No,
Mm.
it's not really. It's a job for me.
Do you watch your own fights back a lot, or do you leave it to sort of your
Nah,
coach?
nah. I watch them after the fight. The first week or so, I'll watch it back a few times, but nah, past that, mate. Not really, if I'm honest.
Mm. I mean, it does seem quite likely, and I don't know if you have any update on it, that you might be facing Ted Cheeseman on the Matchroom fight camp. Is there any update on that?
It's looking likely. From what I've heard, we've accepted, certain things. I think Cheeseman's, out and out said on interviews that it's a fight that he'd like. So I think it's just cross the T's and dot the I's at the moment. But it's looking very likely, I think.
Hmm. What do you see as sort of Ted's strengths and weaknesses? He's obviously had that draw against Kieran Conway and then the close loss to Scott Fitzgerald. How highly do
Yeah,
you sort of rate him?
it's a good kid, like you say. He had a good amateur pedigree. He was doing really well until he come up against Garcia for the European title. And past that, he kind of it didn't go too well for him. But he's a good kid. I'm not here to. I wouldn't slag him off. He's done what he had to do. He got a few. Don't look at Sage. I don't really watch the boxing, so I don't know how the Conway fight went. I know it was. People are saying it was close. People are saying that he got robbed. I don't know. But like I said, I don't watch it, so I can't comment on him. Most of my fights, well, all of my fights, I've left it down to the coaches anyway. So I'm not going to change that now. I don't think, and start watching him and trying to pick things out. That's not me. So again, I'll just leave it to the coach, and we'll go from there.
Are you looking forward to fighting on this Matchroom fight camp? Should it pull off? I mean, it's going to be quite different with no fans or anything. Are you
Yeah,
lifting it?
I was honestly, mate. I rang my coach manager straight away and I said, "Listen, I want to be on one of these shows. These will go down in history. These are, the first ones after COVID, and there's no one there. I'm well up for it. For me, I'll fight my own backguard as long as I get paid. So the fact that no one's there, I don't think will bother me. Apart from the ring walk, which will be a bit weird. Past that, I think most fighters will tell you get like tunnel vision anyway. You don't really hear much of the crowd, if I'm honest. So I don't think it'll bother me. I can't speak for everyone, but me myself, I don't think it'll be much different.
I mean, you're 26, I believe, and you've had. It seems like you've been around for sort of ages, but I guess you haven't really been sort of around that long. Um, I mean, how do you sort of reflect on sort of your career so far? It's been sort of an up and down journey. You've had sort of success,
Yeah.
defeat, but yeah, how do you sort of assess it?
I think when I turned pro, like I say, it's well known. I turned out to be a journeyman anyway. Um, so I knew it was never going to be pretty. And the fact that I started winning, even when I started winning titles and so on, I knew then that, this weren't just going to be plain sailing. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be ups and downs. And I have had downs, but I think with me, with a lot of other people, when they lose or they get beat, I think that's where they start going downhill. Where I've lost, I've always come back bigger and better. And I think that that you either wired that way or you're not. Some people are lost will break them. But for me, again, like I said, it's a job. I enjoy it massively. So, if I can box and get paid for it and do well, then that's what I'll do. Obviously, I want to win every fight, but that's not everyone's a Mayweather. Do you know what I mean? It don't happen for everyone like that. I enjoy this. I don't enjoy the setbacks, but I enjoy pushing hard to come back from the setbacks. So it is what it is. I've had a while of a time doing it, so I want to carry on as long as I can.
That's quite interesting that you say that you turned over to become a journeyman, which would
Yeah.
suggest that you've completely overachieved. What was it about like turning over that you thought I'm just going to be a journeyman? I mean, not just a journeyman. I mean, to be fair, they're so
Yeah, I know what you're
important in the
saying.
sport, but
It's just what I didn't, because I'd quit amateur boxing. I only done amateur boxing as I only trained twice a week for an hour as an amateur boxer. It was just something that set me apart from my mates at the time. No one else done it. And then my girlfriend got pregnant, so I was, I had my first son when I was 17. I got a job. I was a forklift driver. And I genuinely enjoyed that job. If they didn't sack me, I'd probably still be there now. But I got made redundant. So, and then Craig Cunningham, we went to the same, Craig Cunningham. We went to the same amateur club, and obviously he was turning over proper, trying to find, all the best things. And I said, look, is there any chance I can come to your gym and have a word with your manager, see if you can put me on the road? I've heard about, these journeymen getting £800, £1,000 a week, win, lose or draw. I'll be all over that. And so I went off, and it just went from there.
If you could sort of take sort of particular moments in your career, what sort of stands out for you so far? I mean, you've had one British Commonwealth European, big win over Paulie Malignaggi, etc. Which particular moments? Like, there's a long way to go, but so far,
I think the Gavin fight was my best night. Probably wasn't my best performance, if I'm honest, but it was just. And even if I lost, it would probably been the best night. I probably wouldn't say that, but it probably would have been, because the way we had Birmingham split in half and the crowd on the night, and I won the fight, so obviously that's better. But the fact that just the way it was, the local derby was unbelievable. I don't think you can beat winning a local derby. Because when you walked into the arena, it generally was 50-50. It was crazy. And I was the underdog, so I suppose that made it even better for me, because I was the underdog. I was just I went in and I won, and not a lot of people expected me to. I don't think, even though people was there to support me, I don't think a lot of people expected me to win. But yeah, it was a great night.
On that Paulie Malignaggi win, what did that also mean to you? Because obviously he was former world champion, big sort of name as well in the sport. What do you sort of remember from that night?
Honestly, pal, I didn't want to fight at all. I was managed for the European title at this point. I said to the coach, I said, look, we don't need this at all. I'm managed for the European, yeah. I'll miss out on the pay-per-view thing and so on. And in the end, we had a chat about it. And beating Paulie Malignaggi would do more for me than winning the European title, if that makes sense, because it's Paulie Malignaggi. So we had a chat about it, and in the end we went through with it. And I remember the first 3-4 rounds just being a bit starstruck. Like, it was just a bit mad. Like, I think the first three or four rounds, I was just treating it like a spar. Like, I was in there and I was looking at him, thinking, "This is mad. This is mad." And then it wasn't until, like, you know, we started to get into it. I got a bit of a bollock in the corner. I started to just think of him as, you know, the opposition. And kind of got to work, but it was a mad feeling, honestly.
Mm. From the outside looking in, and I haven't spoken to you obviously before, but it seems like you've got a very sort of close relationship with Barry Hearn. How did that sort of start?
Say that again, sorry.
How did that sort of start? Sort of your friendship with
was
Barry
at the second prize fighter. You know, the second prize fighter. Because I'd done one in Wolverhampton, and then I got in the second one in London, and I think, you know, I won the first fight, and then I think I got a dodgy decision in the second fight as a prize fighter. And Barry come in to the changing room afterwards and said, "Look, that was a bad decision. You know, we'll get you another show." And I just thought, he's probably going into every changing room saying that to all of them. Do you know what I mean? He's a promoter. And then within a week later, he rang and said, "Look, Barry, we've got this show coming up." It was a show where Anthony Collar fought Murray, and then Scott Quigg defended his world title as well. And he put me on that 6-rounder. And it's crazy because I was a floater. So you just go on, you know, when to fill it. And I got put on in between the two main events. The place was rammed. It was unbelievable. And I walked in and I was like, "This is mad." Because no one was really there for me. I mean, it was late notice for me. I just went for a 6-rounder. But just looking about and seeing the phone flashing and so on, it was all mad. I just thought, I need to do a good job here. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit embarrassing. But yeah, it was just like that, really. That's where it started. And then after that one, we got a phone call again for another Manchester bill for the South fight. And it's just gone from there.
To the point you are today, obviously, potentially it seems like you're going to be fighting Ted Cheeseman, but you do have that very high ranking with the IBF, 5, I believe.
Yeah.
So, you know, without overlooking Ted at all, are you sort of, you know, seeing that sort of carrot dangling for a world title shot or not?
Yeah, I think, like I say, if this COVID-19 weren't happening, I wouldn't fight Ted. I wouldn't see the point in it. But the fact is, COVID's happening. You're going to get no foreigners in. You're not being let out. So you have to keep fighting. You have to earn your money. You have to... Because if not, you're going to be out till, I don't even know when they're going to let people in and out. Yeah, so I think without this, I probably wouldn't be fighting Ted Cheeseman. But because it's happening, you know, beggars can't be choosers. I want to fight. And this is what's come up. So hopefully we'll get that one nailed down. But yeah, after that, I don't think I've ever been in a position to moan or ask for an eliminator of some sort. But I think at this point I am. I think, you know, I'm ranked 5th. There's only 3 above me. I don't think they rank number 2 for some reason. So eliminator of some sort, or if not, you know, I'll be someone voluntary and I'll take it with both hands.
What would it mean, sort of fighting for a world title should that happen? I mean, as you say, you've had sort of success up and downs, and probably didn't think you'd even get this far. So would that sort of cap it off? In a
it would be the icing on the cake. I have to fight for a world title. I'm determined. And when I fight for it, you'll see nothing but, you know, hard work. I will do everything to win that title. But again, it's just being lucky enough to get that phone call. I'm high in the rankings now, and hopefully, if this fight with Ted does come off, I will be defending my IBF. So maybe it'll push me up 1 or 2 more. But But I know that someone, before this started happening, this COVID thing happened, I know someone had already fought for an eliminator. So I think whether you try and fight, I think someone's next anyway. But I think your man will have to have a voluntary, because, after this, they're going to want someone to start up against. And then I'm pretty sure he's got a rematch clause as well with the kid that he won off, that Williams. So
yeah,
I think it'll be a while until you get a shot. Maybe you'll have to vacate a few to keep a few, depending on what titles have different mandatories. But you never know. We can only wait and see and keep your fingers crossed.
one fighter that I did want to come on to, you've obviously been in the ring with, Liam Smith. There was talk of him obviously facing Kell Brook, as everything has gone sort of, no fights really happening. But where do you see as sort of the next step for Liam? Who would you like to see him face next?
I mean, I can't talk for him. I think he's mandatory for the WBO. I think, and I think I watched things from him. He had an interview, but I'm pretty sure he's mandatory for the WBO. I think that, what's his name, Texian or something.
Texera, yeah.
WBO, yeah. He's fighting someone, and then I'm pretty sure Liam's up for the winner. I think he's next. So if I was Liam, I'd wait for that. I mean, 2-time world champion. I think that would be my plan. But like you say, I think that the Brook fight's probably more money. You just never know. But if I was Liam, I'd be going for another world title, 100%.
I know you sparred him sort of before your fight. Have you sparred with each other since?
Yeah, I was up there So I fought Liam, and then I had a little fight, a little 4-6 rounder. And then for the Italian fight, we was straight back up there. We was up in Bolton sparring Liam for that camp. I'm actually up there tomorrow, sparring him again. So, yeah, like I say, we sparred beforehand. We sparred after. It is what it is, boxing. At the time, if I was in any better position, I probably wouldn't have took the fight. But at the time, I just got stopped against someone who probably shouldn't have got stopped against. I'd had a 4-rounder. I weren't in position to say who I want to fight and who I don't want to fight. They offered me Liam Smith. I had no choice but to take it, really. It is what. And to be fair, if I didn't take the Liam Smith fight and I didn't lose against Liam Smith, I probably wouldn't have got the Italian shot. They probably wouldn't have looked at me. But because I'd lost against the African kid, and then I just had a 4-round and then lost against Liam, the Italian fight come up, which gave me the IBF ranking and the IBF belt and so on. So it's just about taking the opportunities and going with it. I mean, that's what I've done my whole career. If you've offered me something, I've probably took it. Most of the time, it's turned out well, but sometimes, it don't. Not everything. Like I say, not everyone's a mate. Whoever can't all just win everything and just live with millions of dollars in the bank.
I mean, you mentioned that sort of Italian fight. How important was that to the position you're in now? Because I was speaking to Tommy McCarthy a few weeks ago, and he was in sort of a similar position, won a big fight in Italy, and sort of catapulted himself sort of back into the rankings. So for you, how important was that win?
I think if I'd have lost in Italy, I think that would have been. I don't know where I would have went from there. I probably wouldn't have felt like retiring, but I don't know what I'd have done from that point on. So it was massive. Like, as soon as they rang me about the fight, though, I was well up for it. I just thought, this is it now. This is time to to put some work in and get a good ranking, a good balance, get back to where we was. And going over there and flying over there, I had nothing but that thought in my head. I thought, this is it. I want to blast this kid out, and then we're back where we was. And as soon as they rang me about the fight, that was my mindset. I want to knock this kid out, and then we're back where we need to be, and that's what I've done.
Final one, Sam. Have to get your thoughts on it. News last week that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua agreed terms for a 2-fight deal in 2021. Lots of hurdles sort of in the way between that fight happening, obviously mandatories, etc. But what are your thoughts on the fight?
I think I don't think Tyson will box Joshua like he boxed Deontay, but I think Tyson wins. I think he wins a wide points decision as well, if I'm honest. He'll box how he normally boxes and how he's beat most of the people, how he beat Fitzgerald, how he beat, most of, apart from Deontay Wilder, how he boxed everyone else, how he's boxed, Chisora and so on, all the way up to his, his first world title win. He'll box like that, long, sharp, awkward, on his toes, and I think he boxes like that, and I think he wins a comfortable points decision. And I think he'll want to do that. I think Tyson's mad enough to do that, and think I'm gonna keep him going for 12 rounds. I think he'll do that, and he will win quite comfortably.
Okay, Sam Eggington, thanks very much for coming on. Good to speak to you for the
Appreciate
first time.
having me, man.
No problem, and we'll catch up hopefully soon. Hopefully we'll have some fight news confirmed.